Hello all you Baku-Brawlers, and thank you for joining me on Weaver's Wonderful World. In today's episode of Baku-Unboxing, we'll be going over the Aurelus Dragonoid Ultra Baku-Gear Pack for Armored Alliance. This is a Wave 1 Baku-Gear Pack that comes with Aurelus Dragonoid Ultra, Aquos Halcor Ultra, Chaos Pegatrix Core, and Darkus Hydros Core, with the Aurelus Magma Blaster for Aurelus Dragonoid Ultra. Now, on the front of the box we have the Bakugan Armored Alliance logo, a picture of both Ultras, with Aurelus Dragonoid having the Magma Blaster on his back. Below the view window we have the name of both of the Ultras, what the pack is called, and then next to that a display of the 4 character cards, 4 play cards, and the magic core that comes in the set. The back pretty much displays the exact same thing as the front, only with both the core Bakugan open, and a Red Fist Baku Core instead of the Magic Shield Baku Core. It shows off a few of the products, and the opening action for both Dragonoid and the Magma Blaster, plus a few other goodies for everyone to enjoy. Take your brawling to the next level. Inside the box you'll get 2 Ultra Bakugan, 2 Core Bakugan, 16 cores for the Core Matrix, 4 character cards, and 4 Baku-Gear cards. I love the widespread that they have here of different Bakugan, on top of the fact that you get so many Baku-Gear cards. One of the things that I'm really happy with is that they made the Baku-Gear cards instead of having to physically use them on your Bakugan during the game. So instead of dropping Magma Blaster on Dragonoid, I can just find the Magma Blaster card and play it, and he'll get that boost, which is so much nicer than having to actually drop the physical toy onto the Bakugan to give him power. And it helps the flow of the game because you draw the card instead of just having to grab it and drop it. But enough of my little rant about the physical properties of the game. Let's show off each Bakugan and what they came with. Aurelus Dragonoid Ultra comes with a Green Fist and a Helix Core. He's a 500 B power 1 damage Bakugan, and if you pick up a Helix Core, he gets a +6 to his damage. Now, for the damage, that may seem a little bit low, but the Helix Core kind of really makes up for that. But his B power is pretty on par with what Dragonoid usually is, so that's not bad. The Baku-Gear he comes with is Silent Spears. This is a 5 energy cost Aurelus Baku-Gear. It grants plus 500 B power but no damage. Which, for the B power, that really isn't that bad. It brings Aurelus Dragonoid up to 1000 B power, so for how I play, that's actually a really decent card. The Green Fist Core he comes with is a plus 50 B power, plus 1 damage, and -2 to the cost of energy for Baku-Gear. Now, this really isn't that great of a Green Fist Core because of the low B power that it grants you. However, that -2 for the Baku-Gear is actually pretty decent. Now, I wouldn't use this core because of the B power boost, it's not really worth it, but because of the -2 for the energy on the Baku-Gear, some might want to use it, and good on them for that because it makes it easier to pull out your Baku-Gear. The Helix Core comes with a plus 400 B power, -1 damage, and -1 to the energy cost of Baku-Gear. Now this one I might be okay with because it has a high B power, but the -1 to the damage could be detrimental. But you also get the -1 to the Baku-Gear, so that might be a little worth it, depending on your play style. Aquos Halcor Ultra comes with a Green Fist and a normal shield. He is a 700 B power Bakugan with 1 damage, and no special abilities. So the B power is definitely good, but the damage ratio to it, not so much. So if you're going to field this Bakugan, make sure you don't have anything that would minus his damage. The Baku-Gear that comes with Halcor is Aquos Greaves. This is a 5 energy cost Aquos Baku-Gear that grants plus 4 Frost Strike, plus 200 B power, and plus 4 damage. Now for a 5 cost Baku-Gear card, that is really great. That plus 4 damage really helps out Halcor, and that Frost Strike isn't too shabby either. The regular shield is if an Aquos or Darkus picks up this core plus 400 B power. That's a really good way to hinder your opponent if they don't have an Aquos or a Darkus on their team. It's also great for your own Aquos and Darkus Bakugan because of that 400 B power boost. The Green Fist is a plus 3 to damage. If your playstyle is a high damage dealer, then this would be a good core for you. But it doesn't really fit my playstyle, so I doubt I'll be using this one anytime soon. And here we have Pegatrix's core. She is a Magic Shield Red Fist core Bakugan, with 400 B power and 5 damage with no special ability. Her stats are really decent with the 400 B power, and definitely really good with the 5 damage. There are a load of cards and cores that could really boost her B power for a winning shot. The gear she comes with is Bolt Blow. It's a 2 energy cost Chaos Baku-Gear, with 100 B power and 0 damage, with a special attribute of plus 2 Frost Strike. Now, with the 100 B power, this doesn't really seem all that good. And the only reason why I could see somebody using it is because they're mono Chaos and that plus 2 Frost Strike is good. But that's just my opinion. If you like it, go ahead and use it. Now this is a Magic Shield. Plus 600 B power to any Bakugan that picks it up. That is a significant power boost for all Bakugan, no matter who they are. So having at least one Magic Shield amongst your cores is always a good thing. Unless your opponent somehow picks it up. The Red Fist core Pegatrix comes with is a plus 5 damage. If you're going for the high damage, this is definitely one of the good cores to go with, because that's 1/8 of your opponent's deck right there. Next up is Darkus Hydros core. He comes with a normal shield and a Green Fist, 400 B power, 5 damage, and no special ability. Much like Chaos Pegatrix, he's pretty average when it comes to B power and damage. However, he's the opposite when it comes to cores. But he's still a great Darkus Bakugan if you are a Darkus Brawler. He comes with a Geared Dark Helm, which is a 3 energy cost Darkus Baku-Gear, with plus 200 B power and plus 2 damage. That plus 200 and plus 2 when it comes to B power and damage is nothing to shake a stick at. It could very well mean the difference between victory and defeat. And with it only being a 3 cost, that's really not that bad of a price to pay. The normal shield Hydros comes with is a plus 250 B power and minus 1 energy for Baku-Gear core. This is a really decent regular core for Hydros, and allowing it to drop 1 energy off of a Baku-Gear will turn that previous Baku-Gear into a 2 energy cost instead of 3. So this core really shouldn't be underestimated. The Green Fist is a plus 100 B power and plus 3 damage for Darkus and Aquos. This is another good dual faction core because of that plus 3 damage it can only get from Darkus and Aquos, and anybody else doesn't get that bonus. Now we're going to set up our makeshift core matrix and roll these bad boys out. So with our core matrix set up, we're going to go ahead and roll them out and see how they stand. 3, 2, 1, brawl! So, Hydros had a bit of an issue opening, and I had to drop him a few times to get him to open, but he still picked up a core, and that's all that really matters. Next up is Chaos Pegatrix core. 3, 2, 1, brawl! And she almost picked up 2 cores there too, but Chaos Pegatrix stands pretty well. Next up is Aquos Hellcore Ultra. 3, 2, 1, brawl! And that's my boy Hellcore. I loved how that flip worked. And last but certainly not least, Aurelus Dragonoid Ultra. 3, 2, 1, brawl! That was a nice stand from Aurelus Dragonoid Ultra. And now we're at the section where we do a showcase for each Bakugan and the Baku-Gear. And that's it for today's Bakunboxing of Aurelus Dragonoid Ultra and Aquos Halcor Ultra. Thank you, Baku-Brawlers, for joining me on Weaver's Wonderful World. And remember, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Donuts are the best breakfast food. So eat up, stay healthy, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bakugan Brawl!